Okay, imagine this. You walk into a movie expecting one thing, maybe a straightforward horror film, but what you get completely flips the script. Think horror, but also historical epic, musical, and sharp social commentary, all rolled into one. That's what we're diving into today. Ryan Coogler's brand new 2025 film, Sinners, starring Michael B. Jordan.
It really is quite something. On the surface, yeah, it looks like a vampire story.
Yeah.
But, critics are already calling it rich with meaning, groundbreaking. Some are even saying it's Coogler's magnum opus.
What do you think makes it feel so, well, different right from the get-go? Yeah, that's exactly what we want to unpack here in this deep dive. Why is this film hitting so hard, beyond just the genre thrills? We're going to look at where it came from, the technical side, which is amazing, the social commentary woven in, and yeah, that buzz, including the Oscar talk already. We're pulling from reviews, academic takes, the whole picture. Okay, let's get into it. So, Sinners drops you right into 1932 Clarksdale, Mississippi. Deep Jim Crow era. It's this really striking mix, like a love for the blues slammed up against vampire horror. The main story follows twin brothers, Smoke and Stack. Michael B. Jordan plays both brilliantly. They open a juke joint. Then there's their cousin Sammy, a blues musician played by Miles Caton.
Right.
And then the real horror element kicks in. This Irish vampire, Remick, played by Jack O'Connell, arrives, plus some newly turned KKK members of Burton Joan. It's intense.
It is. And that very specific setting, that comes straight from Coogler. He talked about wanting to do something original and personal after big franchise films like Black Panther and Creed. He said he wanted Sinners to feel like a full meal, a holistic and finished thing. Which explains why, even though the ending kind of leaves the door open, you see Stack and Mary later, visiting Sammy in '92, he's become a famous musician. Coogler apparently never thought about doing a sequel. He wanted the story to stand on its own. One statement.
And you really feel that completeness, partly because it looks incredible. A true work of art. The technical skill is just, wow. Autumn Durrell Archipel, the cinematographer.
Yeah.
Huge deal here. First woman and first person of Filipino and Black descent to shoot a big IMAX feature film. And shooting on 65mm film, printing on 70mm. That's not just for show. It gives you this incredible detail, these deep shadows and really luminous, earthy colors. It feels so rich. And they talk about the IMAX frame-shifting aspect ratios. Imagine the screen literally opening up during big moments like the final battle. It just pulls you right in. Plus, the sound and the score, Ludwig Göransson, who often works with Coogler, 2 Oscars. Already, it's phenomenal. Music isn't just background. It's like another character. Precise beats, echoes. It's sharp.
Yeah, and those technical aspects really support the performances, which are fantastic across the board. Michael B. Jordan playing both Smoke and Stack. It's riveting. He shifts between them so smoothly. Critics are saying it's maybe his best work yet. But it's not just him. Delroy Lindo as Delta Slim. He's so powerful, just commands the screen. People are saying this could be the role that gets him that Oscar he deserved for Day 5 Bloods. And we've got a really strong debut from Miles Caton as Sammy. Plus, Wanami Masako as Annie, the hoodoo conjurer. She's just mesmerizing. Really complex character. It's a great ensemble.
Okay, speaking of unique elements, we have to talk about that musical number. That scene just stops you in your tracks, doesn't it? It weaves together all these different eras and styles of Black music. It's like a fantastical feast, they called it. It jumps through time. You get African tribal sounds, then hip-hop, even a ballet dancer. It creates this amazing, audio-visual polyphony. Polyphony meaning, multiple independent melodies or sounds happening at once, harmonizing. It's just incredibly layered. People are calling it one of the best scenes of the year, maybe Coogler's best ever. So clearly, way more than just horror. It's packed with politics, culture. How exactly does Coogler use the horror genre to tackle these really big, complex social issues? Why does that work so well here?
That's really the core of it, isn't it? The film is absolutely steeped in the histories of American Blackness. She's a direct critique of power structures, racism, colonialism, the whole thing. You have to remember the setting. Mississippi Delta, Jim Crow era. Mississippi had more lynchings than any other state, over 650, documented between the 1870s and 1950. And the economic exploitation was extreme. By 1910, something like 92% of Black farmers were peasant farmers, basically trapped in debt. So when the climax hits, and you have the KKK showing up at the same time as the vampire violence, it just hammers home these dual nightmares. One is allegory, the other is just brutal history. And the vampirism itself, it works as this chilling metaphor, right, for how systemic racism operates, how it can be insidious, and also how some paths that look like freedom can be deceptive. Think about it. The vampires offer immortality, power, seems tempting maybe, but it comes at this awful, soul-destroying cost. It's a direct parallel to systems like sharecropping promised a way out but kept people trapped. And look at how Remick, the main vampire, manipulates Sammy's blues music. It mirrors exactly how white systems have historically taken Black creativity, Black culture, Black labor, and used it for their own profit. It's saying, be careful what looks like an escape. It might just be another form of control.
Wow. Okay. So, with that heavy historical weight and vampirism as this metaphor for exploitation, what is the film saying about fighting back? About resistance?
It explores different paths to survival and resistance, especially through spirituality. It puts Sammy's father, who's a Christian pastor, kind of in contrast with Annie, the hoodoo practitioner. That reflects real historical debates in Black communities about the best way forward. Hoodoo is shown as this really powerful, though often hidden, source of cultural and spiritual strength. It blends African traditions with Christian elements, adapted for survival. And there's a subtle point made when the vampires aren't affected by Christian symbols like crosses. Some read that as a critique, maybe questioning if institutionalized religion, especially white Christianity, was really effective against systemic oppression.
And the music, the blues, where does that fit into the resistance picture?
Oh, music is absolutely central. It's shown as this profound channel for spiritual and cultural resistance. Sammy's blues performances aren't just music. They feel almost supernatural, like they can connect with ancestral spirits. It symbolizes how music carries memory, how it helps a culture survive when people try to erase it. And the juke joints themselves, like the one Smoke and Stack open. Historically, those were crucial Black-owned spaces, sanctuaries, really, for community, for expression. The film really emphasizes the blues as authentically Black music, not something imposed from outside, but arising from the experience itself.
Okay, so beyond the history and the metaphors, it feels like Sinners pushes some other buttons too. It seems kind of transgressive.
It definitely is, and in really interesting ways. It asks tough questions, like, what do you have to give up for the illusion of freedom or inclusion? Coogler seems to be warning us, don't just buy into groups or ideologies claiming to offer freedom if it means someone else gets oppressed. The film kind of argues that the only real freedom is the kind you make for yourself, and then there's the way it openly celebrates female pleasure, particularly focusing on oral sex. Critics see that as a deliberate jab at, well, certain religious or conservative groups with restrictive views on sex. In the world of the film, the heroes are maybe sinners because they embrace pleasure, the music they love, sex that feels good, especially for women. It links liberation and pleasure.
Okay, so with all this going on, history, metaphor, controversy, how's it actually being received? I heard it got an A cinema score, which is pretty rare for horror, and called a smash hit.
The reception's been strong, yeah. Box office-wise, it opened bigger than expected. Forecasts were maybe $40 million opening weekend. It pulled in over $60 million internationally. That makes it the biggest opening for an original film since Jordan Peele's Us back in 2019.
Yeah.
So people are definitely going. But the budget is apparently quite high, maybe $90 to $100 million. So Warner Bros. Still has a challenge to make that back just from theaters. It needs legs or strong streaming performance later.
Right, the budget's always a factor. But critically, the reviews sound amazing,
Yeah.
and that Oscar buzz seems real, even this early. What are you hearing?
Critically, it's getting rave reviews. Magnificent, horrifying, a near masterpiece. Comparison to Black Panther in terms of being game-changing and innovative. And yeah, the Oscar talk is definitely happening. It is early, sure. But remember, everything everywhere all at once. That was an early release too. Look what happened. For specific categories, original score for Currents and maybe original song involving Miles Caton's music seemed like strong bets. Cinematography for Autumn Durald Arkapaw? Absolutely. Costumes too, probably. Acting. Michael B. Jordan's dual role is getting talked about. And Delroy Lindo for supporting actor feels like a real possibility. And then the big one, Best Picture. Look, an early year vampire horror movie. Normally you'd say no chance. But you've got Coogler's track record, Black Panther got a Best Picture nom. You've got massive critical acclaim. You have real passion from audiences and industry folks. And the Academy's getting more open to genre films, so could it get nominated? Maybe even win. It's not impossible. Warner Bros. Will likely push hard for it.
So yeah, Sinners is clearly more than just a movie night out. It really feels like a statement piece, showing Coogler's skill at mixing entertainment with really serious, topical ideas. It works on so many levels: the visuals, the acting, the history, the social commentary.
Absolutely. This whole deep dive just shows how it makes you rethink horror, rethink freedom, even rethink what art can do. The film kind of argues that true freedom isn't something you're given, it's something you create, often by embracing the very things society tells you are wrong. It's a good reminder, too, that understanding these layers, applying that knowledge, that's where the real value is. There's always more to unpack.
Right. We've seen how Coogler uses this familiar genre, vampires, to shine a really bright light on some deep, uncomfortable truths about society, and it's sparking real conversations.
Which brings us to a final thought maybe for you listening. How do films like Sinners, films packed with history and social critique like this, actually help us grapple with the past and understand the complexities we still face today? And maybe, what responsibility do filmmakers have when they bring these difficult stories to wide audiences, sometimes wrapped up in genres like horror?
That is definitely something to chew on. We hope this deep dive into Sinners has given you a lot to think about.